Dear ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in every person's life when the weight of chains feels heavier than the strength within. Chains of fear, chains of doubt, chains of generational cycles, chains of failures that whisper to you, this is who you'll always be. But let me tell you something. Those chains are not permanent. They are not your destiny. They are not your identity. Because the moment you realize that you are created for more, you start breaking chains. And when you break chains, you don't just walk free. You walk into dreams that were waiting for you all along. Dreams are not fantasies. They are visions planted deep inside of you. They are glimpses of the future that God intended for you to build. But as long as chains keep you bound, your dreams will remain locked. Today, I'm here to remind you that your chains are not stronger than your calling. Your chains are not louder than your purpose. And your chains cannot outlast the fire within you that was meant to build something greater. So don't settle for survival. Don't stay stuck in chains that were never meant to define you. Break them. Break the chains of fear, the chains of comparison, the chains of negativity, and rise to build dreams that generations after you will thank you for. 10 key points of speech chains represent limitations. Fear, doubt, and past mistakes that hold you back. Every person has dreams inside them waiting to be unlocked. Breaking chains requires courage to step out of comfort zones. Your identity is not defined by what held you down. Building dreams demands vision, faith, and persistence. Dreams are not selfish. They impact generations to come. Every broken chain becomes a testimony for someone else's freedom. Resistance will come, but perseverance breaks barriers. Freedom is not just escape, it's direction toward purpose. You were not created to live in chains. You were created to build dreams that last. Chains represent limitations, fear, doubt, and past mistakes that hold you back. And the truth is, many of us are living with chains we don't even recognize because they've been on us for so long that we've learned to adjust our walk to their weight. Fear whispers that we aren't capable, that stepping out might expose our weakness, so we stay in the safety of silence and never discover our real strength. Doubt creeps in every time we're about to take a step of faith, convincing us that failure is guaranteed, so why even try? Then come the mistakes, those memories of times we fell flat on our faces, the shame of what didn't work out, the rejection that scarred us, and those memories turn into shackles that keep us replaying the past instead of creating the future. But here's the power in recognizing chains. Once you see them, you can confront them. Once you name them, you can break them. The fear that tells you can't is really terrified of the moment you finally realize you can. The doubt that keeps you second, guessing yourself, knows the day you take action, its grip on you will weaken. And those past mistakes, they are lessons, not life sentences. They don't get to define you unless you decide to wear them like an identity. You are not the mistake. You are not the fear. You are not the doubt. You are the one chosen to rise above those chains and show the world what freedom looks like. Think about it. Chains are only powerful as long as they keep you still. Chains lose their power the moment you refuse to stay where they dropped you. Fear loses its power when you take the step anyway. Doubt loses its power when you believe in something bigger than yourself. And mistakes lose their sting when you decide to use them as stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. So the question is not whether you have chains. We all do. The question is, will you let them limit you, or will you let them launch you? Because the very things that tried to hold you down can be the reason you rise up. And once you rise, you don't just carry freedom for yourself. You carry the key for others who are still trapped in theirs. Dreams are not accidents. They are planted deep inside your spirit as seeds, and every seed carries the potential of a harvest far greater than what it looks like in the beginning. The challenge is that when we look at a dream, especially in its earliest stages, it doesn't look like much. It feels fragile, it feels small, and sometimes it feels impossible compared to the reality we are living in. And that's where most people give up. They let the chain of impossibility suffocate the seed of possibility. But if you want to build dreams, you have to learn to see beyond the small beginnings and believe in what the seed carries inside. Building a dream is not about waiting for perfect conditions. If you wait until everything aligns, until the timing is flawless, until the resources are overflowing, you'll be waiting your whole life. Dreams are built in the middle of uncertainty. They are built when you take a step even though you don't see the whole staircase. They are built when you show up again and again, with faith in your heart and determination in your hands, even when nothing around you suggests that success is coming. That's how dreams grow, through consistent faith-filled action, not through passive wishing. The truth is, building dreams requires struggle. The struggle is not a sign that you're failing. It's a sign that you're stretching. Every time you face resistance, it's proof that you're moving. Just like a muscle grows when it is pushed against weight, your dream grows stronger every time you push through doubt, through setbacks, and through delays. And every brick you lay in faith, every effort you put forth, every risk you dare to take, it all adds up. It may not look like much now, but when it's all pieced together, you'll look back and see that what you were building wasn't just a dream, it was a destiny. And here's what makes building dreams even more powerful. They don't just belong to you. When you dare to believe in a dream and you're willing to build it, you become a vessel that inspires others. Your dream might unlock someone else's courage. Your persistence might ignite someone else's fire. Your success might become the evidence someone else needed to believe in their own possibility. So don't you dare underestimate the power of the dream inside of you. It was given to you for a reason. And the world doesn't just need dreamers. It needs builders who are bold enough to put their hands to the work, no matter how hard it gets. Chains are not always visible. Sometimes they are made of steel, but most often they are made of fear, doubt, shame, regret, or the voices of people who told you that you are not enough. These invisible chains are often heavier than the physical ones because they bind your spirit. They whisper to you in the quiet moments, convincing you that your past defines you, that your failures limit you, that your weaknesses disqualify you. And if you're not careful, you start living life small, dragging around chains you were never meant to carry. But here's the truth. Chains were never meant to be permanent. They were meant to be broken. And no matter how long they've held you, no matter how heavy they feel, chains are not stronger than the power of your spirit when it is fueled by faith and determination. Breaking chains doesn't happen in one glorious, cinematic moment for most people. Often, it's a process, step by step, choice by choice, moment by moment. Every time you choose courage over fear, you're snapping a link. Every time you forgive instead of holding bitterness, you're loosening a shackle. Every time you speak life over yourself instead of repeating words of defeat, you're weakening the lock. Chains are not broken by wishing, they're broken by action. And the first act of breaking free often begins in your mind, when you decide you will no longer let the same lies, the same habits, the same limitations dictate the story of your life. Some of you have inherited chains, chains of generational cycles, poverty, brokenness, dysfunction, or addiction. These chains are so familiar that they almost feel like part of your DNA, but just because you were born into them doesn't mean you have to die in them. You have the power to be the one who ends the cycle. You have the power to draw a line and say, it stops with me. And when you do, you're not just breaking chains for yourself, you're breaking them for your children, for your family, for generations you may never even meet. The chains that bind you today could be the testimony that strengthens someone tomorrow. Breaking chains will hurt because they've been attached to you for so long that they feel like part of who you are. Letting go of bitterness might feel like letting go of protection. Releasing control might feel like losing safety. Choosing hope might feel foolish when despair has been your companion for years. But remember this, chains don't serve you, they suffocate you. And every time you let one go, you breathe easier, you walk lighter, and you move closer to the destiny you were created for. The greatest danger to your dreams is not always the size of the obstacle in front of you, but the doubt that creeps inside of you. Chains can be broken, opportunities can be created, doors can be opened, but if you don't believe you're worthy of stepping through them, then the dream will always remain out of reach. That's why building dreams is as much an internal battle as it is an external pursuit. You've got to confront the voices in your own head that whisper, "You're not enough. You've failed too many times. Someone else is more qualified." Those voices are nothing but echoes of the chains you've already broken. They belong to the past, not to your future. And every time you silence them with truth, you strengthen your spirit for the road ahead. Your dream doesn't demand perfection, it demands persistence. It doesn't ask you to have it all figured out before you start. It asks you to take the first step in faith. And with each step, you will discover strength you didn't know you had, courage you didn't realize was buried within you, and opportunities you never imagined would come your way. But the dream doesn't reveal all of this until you start moving. That's the mystery of growth. It unfolds along the journey, not at the starting line. Too many people wait for clarity before they move, when in reality, clarity comes after you've started walking. So, when you feel tired, when you feel stretched thin, when you wonder if it's even worth it, remember this: your dream is not just about you. It's about the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire, the generations that will benefit from your courage to keep going. Your dream has ripple effects far beyond your imagination. And when you give up, you don't just rob yourself. You rob the world of what could have been birthed through you. That's why holding on, pushing forward, and continuing to build, even when it seems impossible, is not just an act of ambition. It's an act of service, a legacy in the making.